Yep. And going on to a little Major League Baseball. They
Absolutely.
had the Field of Dreams game
It,
the other
it,
night.
is this heaven?
It might be.
Oh man.
Kevin
So,
Kevin Costner says it is.
Kevin Costner is a fucking stud. I love Kevin Costner. Everything he does, I'm watching. I love Yellowstone.
Oh, one of my favorite TV shows all
Like,
time.
oh my god, it's so
Taylor
fucking good.
Sheridan does great work, and yeah, such a good show. Look, I
Put Kevin Costner in any baseball situation, also, and I'm gonna watch that shit as well. Bull Durham, my favorite baseball movie of all time. It's so fucking good. And then give me For Love of the Game. If you are a baseball guy and you don't love For Love of the Game, you're not a fucking baseball guy. Get out of here. That is what baseball is all about. I love Kevin Costner, and last night's game lived up to the billing. This is 2 years in the making. They couldn't do it because of COVID. They finally get the game, and god damn, what a way to celebrate that movie, to put this whole thing together. The only thing that wasn't good about this game is Guy Fieri and his dumbass hot dog apple pie.
I didn't even know Guy Fieri had anything to do with the game. Because to be completely honest, I didn't watch it. I've only looked at some of the reports or highlights and things from the game. Obviously, the ending of the game, which was I don't know, pretty fitting. It was
Oh yeah.
pretty epic. I believe you said the Yankees had hit a couple home runs to take the lead,
Top of the
and
ninth,
then
they fucking hit Giancarlo and Aaron Judge, the two big sluggers for the Yankees. Go out there, hit a couple bombs to take the lead. This is storybook. If you're a Yankees fan, this is how it's supposed to be. They're in this game for a reason because they're the Yankees. You fucking love them or you hate them, but they deserve to be there. And then you get a guy in Tim Anderson, a young, exciting guy, goes out and hits the walk off Oppo home run to right field into the corn. Celebration, fireworks fucking going off. It was a fantastic game. Jose Abreu starts the game off early. First home run ever out into the corn. I mean, that's something that he's going to probably remember for forever. And the build up to the game was great. The introduction, like those guys coming out
walking
of the
out from
corn.
outfield.
Oh,
Yep.
I was so pumped. I was so excited. Like it
And
was.
the classic uniforms and things like that for the Sox, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's definitely one of those feel good sports moments. Um,
This is what baseball needs. Ba- Everybody who's listened to the podcast from the beginning has heard me talk very passionately about baseball. They have heard me bury Major League Baseball for their terrible promotion of the game. This was one time where they absolutely got it right. It's great to see. This builds the game. It's exciting.
it
You're
was a
getting
very romanticized moment for the sport, and
absolutely.
it's something that you can watch with your kids, then you can watch the movie, and it really gets them emotionally involved in
Absolutely.
this sport. Um, and I think it's great for the game. You can't do it every week,
No.
so
But they need to do this more.
they need to do this
And
sort of thing more often in
other
general.
sports need to start leaning into this as well.
Hmm.
Now, we've seen the NHL do their outdoor
Yeah,
series.
the Winter Classic, they do the outdoor game once a year, I believe, on like Christmas Day or something like that. Um, I had seen someone say, hey, they should do the game up outdoors in Miracle, Alaska, on a pond or
Mhm.
whatever, from that movie. Um, yeah, it's nice to see some of these things that are sports related, pop culture stuff that are able to get injected into the sport. It's kind of just feel good moment for all the fans and for the
Especially if
game.
you want to resonate with a younger crowd. That's you have to tie it into pop culture. I don't know why other organizations aren't doing this yet. Now, I don't know what the NBA can do. Maybe they go to Rucker Park and they do a game out at Rucker Park, and that would be fucking crazy. That would be awesome. Even if it's not a regular season game, maybe do a summer league game that they have going on right now out at Rucker Park, and at the mecca of basketball in New York. That would be super cool. I don't know what the NFL does. Do they? I mean, there's not a lot of football movies that you could recreate or put that in.
Yeah, not so much. I think their brand stuff right now is kind of go to Mexico and play a game, go to Europe and play a game.
Trying to
Those
globalize the
international
game.
games, yeah, things like that, pulling in more of a global fan base. Um, but I think that there's ways for them to get creative and make games more special and more important.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some interesting things in college football. They have the Pinstripe Bowl where they play at Yankee Stadium. That's a cool little atmosphere. It's different. Maybe the NFL can get into that as well. The game in Mexico, I hate the game in Mexico. The field is almost always fucked up.
Hmm.
They're playing at a higher elevation than they are in Denver. Players hate going down there. Players hate going over to fucking England because
Yeah,
the
it's
travel is terrible.
real tough. They they have to work it around bye weeks and stuff like that. That travel is really tough on the body. Having done that trip back and forth from Europe, I never want to like ride on that plane ride again. I've done it so many damn times and it sucks.
I've done it commercially coming back from a deployment, and I've done it on a fucking C-17, which actually was better because I just slept on the hood of a Humvee.
Mm.
I was able to stretch out and then get a little space. That is the longest fucking flight. It's miserable. Now, these NFL players going over, obviously they are trying to rest as much as they can. Coming back, if they get a win, maybe they're partying on the plane back. That's a good long trip to let loose. Hopefully, you're rolling into a bye week right after. But I would like to see the NFL find a way to do something other than the international stuff because those international games are tough. I fucking hate waking up at the ass crack of dawn to watch the goddamn Dolphins versus the Texans in England, but I will turn it on if I am awake because it's the NFL and I'm a fucking American and I watch football. So
Maybe they should just have a lockout and they'll bring in Shane Falco, Keanu Reeves,
there we go.
and he can lead a bunch of players, a deaf tight end, and have all sorts of fun antics. That would be a good game.
I'm thinking about all the football movies, and you definitely don't want to recreate a how did I just forget the name of the movie? Steamin' Willie Beeman.
Oh yeah, and Pacino.
What the hell is the name of that movie?
It's gonna escape me now too that I'm on the spot.
Oh
Let me see
man.
real quick.
Well, high school football movies you can't do, especially Varsity Blues.
Mhm.
That's not gonna go over very well. That movie couldn't be made today.
Any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday, you can't recreate Any Given Sunday because there's some shit in that movie that just
Probably
NFL
a little
does not
too
want-
realistic to the NFL that they don't want people to be thinking about. Good movie though.
I mean, but are there really any other? You can't do a Remember Titans. It's another high school team. I mean, it's a great story. Fantastic. Love that fucking movie. Gary Bertier was a beast on the field, and then even afterwards, going and winning Paralympic medals.
Hmm.
But you can't recreate that. You're not doing Friday Night Lights. I mean, they have a TV show, the fucking One Tree Hill knockoff.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything like that the NFL can do, but I'd like to see them do
I
something.
mean, the closest thing that they do is the game in Canton for the Hall of Fame game, but that's at the beginning of the year and it's trash. Everyone knows that it's
Everybody
just,
fucking hates the
it's-
Hall of Fame game.
it's a pointless game. But finding sites and locations that are non-traditional but do have tradition within the sport somehow would be nice. I don't know. It's something to think about. Something to think about. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that they could do as far as a site or a location that would really be that wild or different. But
But MLB did it right. The NHL does it right with their Winter Classic. Maybe the NBA can find something that they can do. I don't know if the NFL will ever get there, but I love the way that it worked out. It was a great game. One first place team in the White Sox, a Yankees team that is supposed to be very good and contending for a playoff spot. It was fantastic baseball. If you love baseball, definitely should have tuned in and caught that Field of Dreams game. It was awesome. And also, I mean, I'm a huge video game guy as well. MLB The Show did this whole thing.
added it all into the game.
Oh, yeah, it's
I heard about
awesome.
that.
MLB The Show is my favorite video game probably of all time. it has surpassed Madden because Madden has fucking sucked for years.
It's
But
been rough.
yeah, it was fantastic. So